music.
Party's not a party's a man who fights crime, and we're gonna watch him fight for a minute at a time with John and Niall and a guest who doesn't rhyme. It's Bat Minutes!
Attention, citizens of fair Gotham, and welcome back to Bat Minute Forever, the show that sure ain't food for the dogs. We're top tier, baby. I am one of your hosts, John Parker.
And I am one of the mansion's many mutts. I am the co-host, Niall McGowan.
Niall, now, we're working on this body positivity. You're not supposed to call yourself a mutt, okay?
Hey, if Shia LaBeouf can do it, I can do it. So.
Oh. And once again, we are joined by our very special guest. We have Jonathan Howell of the Minute Impossible podcast and the Cast and the Furious.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm over here in Dick Heaven. You know me.
Living it up.
Building your treehouse in Dick Heaven.
Hey.
Not a treehouse in your soul,
Exact-
a treehouse in Dick Heaven.
Exactamundo.
Well, we are now into the heady heights of minute 45. The minute starts with a dick tease of sorts.
Oh,
and
hello.
it ends. It ends with a murder.
Get into Burger Talk Part 2, basically.
Well, also, hey guys, happy Friday.
Oh,
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Of course.
Yeah, and welcome to Burger Gate.
What's it? Well, one thing, gotta get this. Alfred, for all his, butlery expertise, he's a man who thought to bring a salt and pepper shakers. No sauces? He doesn't provide a ketchup for this kid? He doesn't provide a mayonnaise or a mustard or...
That's interesting.
I will
yeah,
give
because...
you the option of pepper or salt, but I serve it dry, as you know.
Everybody loves a nice dry burger.
And the thing is, Alfred, if you were any kind of cook, that thing would need salt and pepper. Like, you would
Yes.
have it seasoned perfectly.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, right? If he's giving him the option of salt and pepper, okay. He's letting him have control over the burger. In which case, yes, provide sauces.
That may be for the fries, though. There are fries.
It could be.
there are fries, yeah.
So
That's on
sometimes
the-
people like more salt on fries.
That is true.
True.
But I find it rude. It's a two-way street, and you guys tell me how you guys do it over there. I find it rude to ever season my food before I've tasted it, especially if someone has made it for me.
That is
yeah.
a standard practice of mine.
Okay.
Like, yep, you make a point of like, I've taken a bite without anything added to it. Because I remember, I think it's in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Larry has a whole debate with Jeff where like they're at some kind of special meal and they've got a great chef has come out and prepared all this food for them. And before the food's even served to him, Jeff's like, "Can I get some ketchup?" And the chef looks very agitated about it. And Larry's like, "You can't do that. Like this is this guy. He's made this thing. This is supposed to be great. You can't just drench it in something else. It's indicating that you don't like the taste of it and you've not even tried it yet." So, like, yeah, I think that should be etiquette for everyone, is to, like, if someone serves you something, take a bite out of it without any
I don't care if you've had it a
modifications.
million times and you're always like, it's always not salty enough for me.
Yeah.
Try their burger. Always.
And also, I'm just of the opinion, like, I don't like control over my food in that aspect. I want it the way the chef has made it.
Yes.
And if the chef hasn't made it to my preference, I'll eat somewhere else.
Yeah.
That happens a lot with when you're eating like seared ahi tuna, because they'll be like, how would you like that cooked? I'm like, the way that the chef tells you to. I'm like, don't ask me. It's you have something on your menu called seared tuna, and what it is normally is just a very light bit of heat on one side, and the rest of it's basically raw. So
You know what that's about, though? It's because the chef knows it should be served seared the way you have said. But a lot of people won't actually like that and think, oh, it's undercooked. So they're just like testing the waters, like, do you want us to burn the crap out of this?
yeah,
Or what?
I'm like, no, make it the way, whatever they say. Because like I'll have a guy come out and be like, this meal is better medium rare. I'm normally not a medium rare, no, I'm medium rare. I'm not like a medium person, but he's like, this we cook, they always, when they say it, I'm always like, yeah, you're the chef. Whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
If
I'm
you tell
going
me
there.
to eat it, if you tell me to sniff glue before I eat it because that's what makes it taste better. Great, fine.
Exactly. I'm going to that restaurant to eat that chef's food. Or to try eating that chef's food and see if I enjoy it. I'm not going to, like, put my flavor on it.
I really gotta get, because he made Vichyssoise for us last season for the Vichyssoise Minute. For friend of the show, Dave Upson, professional chef. I've never got his opinion on whether it's he would regard that as standard practice, or whether within the restaurant industry is like, oh yes, that should be a hard and fast rule with the customer. It's like,
but in his restaurant, it's a Spanish restaurant. When I've been, I don't think there are a lot of condiment and season choices.
No, there isn't. I mean, when you go to a Mexican restaurant, you get salsa. That's it. Not Mexican. It's Spanish. It's Spanish is different. Spanish is a different kind of cuisine. They don't just give you salsa. But yeah, it's not the same. I mean, most American restaurants are just going to have a salt and pepper shaker. I'm sure you guys do the same thing where it's just part of it.
But, and so is the ketchup. That's just there.
Yeah, that's one of those things. I'm like, I'm so glad ketchup's not a part of my life. In that way, I won't put it on a burger. I take that back. If it comes in a small thing where you can squirt it on a little bit, like ketchup and mustard on a burger someone's grilled out on a grill, fabulous. But like if someone has a Heinz bottle of ketchup and hands it to me, I'm like, no, thank you.
I do enjoy it on a burger. Most other foods, no. A hot dog, yeah, okay, that kind of food, that's fine.
That's in Chicago you get guff for that because you put ketchup on a hot dog, but it's okay. Again, it's not weird. It's what you like.
Well, over here, like that's normal.
It's totally normal, and most of Americans like ketchup on their hot dogs.
Oh, okay. It's not just okay, cool.
It's just a Chicago thing. It's a joking Chicago thing is that it's always only mustard relish, tomatoes, which is weird, and
okay,
yeah, like big chunks of tomatoes,
okay,
and a poppy seed bun.
That sounds nice. I'm going to do that. I'm going to give it a go.
It's quite nice.
I do wonder, like, maybe if I've misjudged Alfred here, though, because you're talking about the sachets of sauce. Maybe he does. Maybe he's not got, like, an ostentatious bottle. He's got, like, little sauce packets.
Oh, maybe it's in his pocket. He's like, here you go.
Like Scorpio in The Simpsons. It's just, like, in his trouser pocket.
It's like, you want some cream?
You want some ketchup?
All right. Here's the question I was going to ask on Wednesday, but we went long, so I thought I'd wait until now. Who did he make this burger for? And I want you to think about it for a second. Master Dick was leaving. Who?
From what he knows, he was going, yeah.
Who was he making this burger for? Was he making it for Bruce?
This was part of the plan. Like,
do you think that's the look? The look is you go make the burger, I'll get him to get gas?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a very specific look.
It's an indication that these guys have done this before. Like, it's like, oh, we got this down. Like, you go make the burger, I'll lure him to one of the specialty garages I have, which will have filled to the brim with something he's interested in.
This is the sixth Robin.
Yeah. Oh, you think that there's another garage that just has pinball machines and arcade games in case he doesn't like these? He's like, let's go to this one.
It's like the Foot's Lair in the original Turtles movie. He's like, it's everything a kid could want in here. Like, why don't you join us?
Well, I don't really play video games. That's why we're walking through this garage to the next garage that has
the lacrosse room.
The lacrosse room. Look, it's European soccer room. Do you enjoy European? Oh no, you love American football. He keeps going into different warehouses, and he's just got crazy stuff.
Like Bruce is getting phone calls from Alfred, like, this burger isn't staying medium rare, so find something he likes for the love of God.
Quick. Although it would be ideal to eat that burger in the American football room.
I've cooked this burger so long it's as dead as his parents and your parents.
I actually went past a pub the other day in town that proudly advertised outside, "We show the NFL." And I was like, hang on a minute. Won't it be at like 3 in the morning?
I think unless they're making a point of like, oh, we show it like the next evening or something.
Maybe.
We tape it. We tape the NFL.
Because it's not a thing here. To put that outside advertised is crazy. You get some people who are into it, obviously. We all have our quirks. I love Japanese cinema, you know. But the fact that they were so adamant to put this on a giant sign was interesting.
John, can you come over here to my warehouse of Japanese cinema? Look at it's every movie you've ever wanted to watch.
It would entice me. Like, we have Battle Royale.
We have the cast of Battle Royale. They're right here. You can talk to them.
That's what we imagine then. It's like, oh, so you into the WWF? Like, well, look over here. It's Macho Man Randy Savage. Hey,
I have rented The Undertaker. He's right over here.
Oh, that would be gold. Although if it was modern WWE, I'd be upset.
Hey, to get back to the movie, kind of like Val Kilmer. I think Val Kilmer's great in this movie, but I don't know if he's anyone's Batman.
No.
And I see him as like we talked about it. You always say people love the Tim Burton movies and they revile the Joel Schumacher later movies, but they never talk about this movie. And I think that's part of. I think unfortunately this movie has gotten in a weird place where you're like, he does a solid job. It's fine. He's good as Bruce Wayne. He's actually, I think, one of the best Bruce Waynes.
Oh, that's interesting because I always say. I like him as Batman, but I'm unsure on him as Bruce. Here's
why I like him as Bruce, and I just looped it all the way back around. So that's that. If it makes sense, it makes sense. He's Joel Schumacher's seen this. I read watched an interview with Joel Schumacher, and he was talking about in this movie they wanted him to be a man, not a Superman. That's actually a line they said, and I laughed at first because I'm like, to me, Superman has always seemed more human than Batman.
Yeah.
Like Superman, he's trying to be a person, whereas Batman doesn't care about that.
And I think this is the first one where they talked with the writers of the movie, the Bachelors. Is that who wrote this movie?
That's right.
Bachelor or something.
Yes, Scott and Lee and Scott, Lee and Janet Scott Bachelor. I think that's the name.
They talked about the difference, and they said the way that he is, like the way he is in these scenes that we have had this whole week, he is comfortable with his wealth. You notice he's basically flaunting it. He's not saying, look how cool this stuff is, but he is enticing a kid by saying, look at all the things I can provide you. I know you want to go out on your own, but this is pretty damn cool. And by the way, my butler's going to make you hamburgers. They're going to be dry ass hamburgers, but he's going to make them for you.
I do appreciate the lack of grease that seems to be on those onion rings. It seems like those are dry ass. That's a crispy ring he's got right there.
Oh, don't talk about rings. It's too soon. No, don't talk about rings.
Oh, no. So we're all agreed we're fans of onion rings.
Yes. I think one of Bruce, too, is also like, I bet you hate the circus now, right? Because, like, let me tell you, kid, I hate the circus. You realize the amount had a circus gang here a couple of years ago. And before that, there was a clown guy freaking poisoning the city. It was crazy.
And then I go to one circus and two people freaking die in front of me.
So if I can get one person as far removed from a circus as I possibly can, I will do it.
He should have just gone circuses. I hate circuses.
Why did it have to be circuses?
That should be like he had during the date with Chase Meridian. He's just constantly twitching and looking around. Just like, any minute now. Any minute something's going to happen. And then, of course, something did happen. He's like, I told you. I got that. Why are we having these goddamn circuses?
If that helps, that's how we all feel at circuses. We're all like, God damn it. One of these clowns is going to want to participate, make me like come out the ring, and he's going to throw confetti in my face and make me look like an asshole. I know it.
Has anyone ever had fun at the circus?
I always feel pity for the animals. Well, at least here, we used to have the Ringling Brothers. I don't know if they came. Did they go to Europe?
I've heard of that.
The ones with the one, but did they come with like all their animals? Like now, there's almost no animals in the show.
Yeah, I think it's illegal now to do animals here, but they have in my lifetime. They have.
Yeah, but when I was a kid, I didn't even think about that. Like Gunther Gable Williams was like the king of the tigers. Like he trained tigers, and he was like the guy that did tigers, and there were elephants and like all this crazy stuff. And I remember the spectacle of it, but I was always a little wary. I'm like, what if this animal like loses its mind and like starts stampeding around? It's just just a bunch of children, and it's really loud and everything. There's freaking clowns everywhere, which is a nightmare in and of itself for me. So,
but speaking of circuses and animals and stuff,
yes,
I have a problem with what Alfred says he's going to do.
Okay,
because Dick basically, he sachets away. He's not going to have the burger. Or is he going to have the burger?
I don't think I guess he does have the burger because he's like, oh, hold up, Al. So, like, yeah, I guess he munches down his burger.
But not in this bit because Alfred says he's going to feed it to the dogs. So we have to go through this for Dick to agree to stay.
Well, that's the thing because he weirdly says, oh, just throw this away then. Perhaps the dogs are hungry.
Yeah.
And so it's like if the dogs are an afterthought. He's like, well, it's going to go in the bin. Actually, no, maybe I'll give it to the dogs.
That's a whole nother warehouse. It's just dogs. It's
it's the dog
lousy
room.
Dogs.
But my problem with that is, I know people do it, But you shouldn't feed your dog human food like this.
Not that,
They're not
no.
supposed to eat food that's been cooked in like oils and all this kind of stuff.
Don't give a dog a fried onion ring.
No. In fact, can dogs eat onions? I don't think they can. Cats can't.
Dogs eat anything. They eat their own butts. They don't care.
Okay, yeah, they will eat it, but should
Oh,
they eat?
no. They shouldn't eat anything like meats and none of the meats that we prepare.
Not like this. Not the way we've cooked it. And
No.
things. No, don't be giving that to a dog. Alfred, come on, man.
I am slightly disappointed too, because like, if ever there was a time to reference Ace the Bat Hound, this is it. This is Joel Schumacher missed the shot. It's like you could have like, well, perhaps Ace is hungry. But like, that's the dog that Batman had back when things were stupid. Like,
That would be cool.
The dog that he had when things were stupid. Back when the world made no sense.
but I'm also kind of wondering though, are they definitely like? Does Bruce have like a release the hounds button? Does he have hounds around as guard dogs, or is it the dogs like are the statues outside Wayne Manor? Are they literally hellhounds? Or is it like I'm going to feed this to Sigourney Weaver and Rick Moranis outside?
I
Like,
assume
the dogs.
that Alfred has pets because he gets lonely. This is what I assume.
Oh.
These are just dogs that Bruce never sees. That's why he doesn't say it to where Bruce can hear it. It's like, I'll just feed this to the dogs. My only
Bruce doesn't even know there are dogs.
my only true friend. These two dogs.
Oh. To be fair, Bruce would be awful company. Awful.
Yeah, that's why he's got Martha. That's one of the dogs, and the other one is what's the dad? What's Bruce's dad's name?
Thomas.
Thomas.
Oh, Thomas.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thomas and Martha. His Cocker Spaniels.
Oh.
That's the thing, because like, Bruce is a man who like has evidenced in these minutes. He's a guy who seems to like to accumulate stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's got these cars, but like they need like the bikes need a lot of work, but like I can't fix them, and Alfred can't, so he's like they're just there. But it's just the fact like so he's also got dogs. Like I never see these dogs, and the way he's kind of swaggering away from Dick Grayson's like I've gathered an orphan. Now that's just around my house somewhere. Like I'll go about do my bat business. And then, like, 2 weeks later, he'll be walking past the room. It's like, there's some guy doing, like, kung fu with laundry in there. It's like, yes, Master Bruce, that's the orphan you took in. Like, oh, Christ, I forgot about that. Like, how's he doing these days, Alfred? Like,
Well, he died because he didn't eat that burger, and he's been stuck in that warehouse with all the cars, and there's nothing to eat. And he tried to drink petrol.
meanwhile, the dog warehouse is broken into the cat warehouse next door, sir.
Oh,
It's
no.
an absolute disaster in there.
And the battle royale, the warehouse is. Yes, they're now fighting with the football warehouse.
Necks are exploding.
And of course, Macho Man Randy Savage is still waiting for his check from that time you wanted him to show up, and he.
But he did eat that burger, in case you're wondering.
Well, as people can probably guess, there's not a lot happening in this minute. But he does win Dick over, as we said. He is staying. The way to Robin's heart is through his stomach.
Well, that's the thing you say is not what's happening. It's just like we have ostensibly covered this minute before, because then when we go into there's a pretty faithful reconstruction of the 1989 shooting of the Wayne's parents. Like, it's kind of all the same shots, not the same actors. It's clearly been redone. But Joel Schumacher, to his credit, has at least gone like, I'm taking that and I'm remaking that scene.
Yeah, it's a little more noir than you expect from Joel Schumacher. The light's blue, but it's almost disco blue. So I think that's Joel Schumacher be like, haha, I showed you. I didn't do
put
it.
my touch on it.
I didn't do it super normal. I made it a little mine.
I like it, though, because it comes across the whole scene is very dreamlike, and it does feel like a memory, a distant memory. Like Bruce is trying to sort of cling to it.
Yeah.
And, it shows he can't stop thinking about it.
First thing I thought about
even
was
in
maybe
this
don't
universe.
leave those pictures out. Maybe just don't have those pictures in your house. Because all you do is walk around your house. This credenza reminds me of my dead family.
He likes the pain. He uses the pain.
Well, this is bizarre, though. The pictures as well are like, they look like those pictures were taken in like the 1920s.
Yeah.
Like, this is old camera stock they've even used. It's like, so no, we've always had a thing like, well, you never quite can tell when these movies are supposed to be set because it's in this timeless other world, I guess. But this is like the technology of, I guess, only merely 25, maybe 30 years ago has lit. You could leap up to that new Batmobile, but apparently cameras back then were the equivalent of cameras in like 1932.
Yeah, you think he took a picture with one of those, like, everybody hold, poof, like has like one of those, looks like a windshield wiper.
Yeah.
Hold
Yeah.
up.
Or one of those where you have to literally hold in position for like 10
Yeah,
minutes.
they're like, all right, I'm going to put the cap back on now.
I will say, though, I admire Bruce Wayne's mom's dedication to hats. Every photo, she's got a hat on.
Oh,
And it's like she is like, I'm a man who appreciates the hat. She is obviously a woman who's got great time. And to be fair, like the rest of the whole family seems to, because like you got Bruce there, he's wearing his classic flat cap that he had it's not the same flat cap that he had in '89, but I think you can see, well, a kid liked flat. I wonder if Bruce Wayne is looking at this, but like, I should really bring back that flat cap. Like the next time he shows up to Chase Meridian's office, he's just got like the little page boy hat on.
Is he wearing the page boy hat? Bruce isn't wearing a page boy hat.
In the center picture, yeah, Bruce he's got a little.
Oh, I thought you meant in the flashback. Sorry.
No, in the pictures. And again, the mother always has like a hat cockily tilted to the side. And again, is that even holding? Thing is that you wonder if there's some kind of miscommunication in that center photo. Bruce is wearing his flat cap. The mother's wearing a hat. The dad's taken off his hat. Because he's like, oh, I guess it's a photo. So it's like, oh, the times they must have had getting these
Thomas
photos
Wayne
taken.
had excellent sense of where the top of a frame of camera when he had his picture taken, and he knew the hat would be out of frame. So he's like, well, I'll just take the hat off, and now the hat's in the picture. I worry that there wouldn't be a hat in the picture, but now it's in the picture.
And
So
I really
there
need to stress to people, like, if I should ever be horribly murdered, people need to know that we were a hat family. So I need to make sure that all hats were in the pictures at all times.
Hashtag hats first.
Right. This is the chance to tie this franchise all together. Show Jack Napier, you cowards.
You cowards.
Cowards!
I think
Do it.
I don't know. Maybe there's like, people think like we could have brought in Jack Nicholson, but he'd be old as hell now. So I'm always slightly
No,
disappointed.
they should have played the
'cause-
kid. They should have played the guy who played him as a young one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always remember that guy was called Hugo Blick because I remember naming the episode the new kid on the Blick. And I was so happy with it, and no one said anything. I was like,
I loved it.
Hey, we're only doing these podcasts for ourselves, guys. It's okay. It doesn't matter if anyone else cares, okay?
It feels like that sometimes.
But actually, I've gone in, I've looked up who played the Wayne family in this version, because not the same people. Mostly because it's actually filmed in you can tell, like, every other actor in that first season, like, you'll remember, John, because it was filmed in England, everybody was from the Bill. But now it's over in America, so they're all random American bit part players. But the guy who actually plays, as they identify him in this, the shooter, he's played by a fella called David Urbano Hodges. And I think this guy he's just friends with Tommy Lee Jones. Like, because all the films he's in Under Siege, he's in The Fugitive, he's in Blown Away and Cobb. So it's like, yeah, he seems to be like, those are all Tommy Lee Jones movies. Maybe he's just like, Tommy Lee's like, this guy's my boy. Just like, give him a part. Like, he just likes to show up in some of the movies I'm in.
He's not his stunt double?
It seems to be like in his IMDb, it's just like, yeah, he's just like acting parts. I didn't mention him as a stunt double in any way. But
Interesting. Maybe he's his stand-in. He could be his stand-in. They don't normally do that. He could be the one who like stands for the light. They usually just
the weird
get someone...
thing is though, because Joel Schumacher, like, famously, like, he refused to work with Tommy Lee Jones again after this movie.
Sure.
But Joel Schumacher had a great time for David Urbano Hodges because he ended up casting him in A Time to Kill and 8mm after this. So it's like, maybe he's like, I hate, if he was just standing, it's like, I like the presence of Tommy Lee Jones, but I hate the man. So I'm going to get his body double to be in all my other movies.
It's good enough.
It's like he's there, but he's not actually there.
This is the scene that really got to me because I was watching a couple of behind the scenes and trying to learn like about how Val Kilmer wanted to do this character. And one of the things that they were talking about when they were talking about this scene that I found interesting was they were like, why would you put this in the middle of the movie? A movie that we're now 3 movies into this series. We know why Batman is angry all the time. Like, we get it. You lost your parents. You don't need to. And one of the things they brought up was this Bruce Wayne has to maintain his problems. And I like the way they said it. They said he has to maintain his own problems with crime. Otherwise, Gotham City would suffer if he ever got, like, Chase Meridian is trying to save him and help him. She cannot fundamentally help him, and he knows that. He's not allowed to be helped because if he ever got help, he wouldn't be Batman.
Yeah.
And this maintaining of his problem made me laugh. And that's why he puts all these photos everywhere. I have to have these photos everywhere. So I'm always just constantly angry.
It's like people say, which I don't subscribe to this theory. I think it's terrible. But people say, like, oh, Darth Vader's castle is on Mustafar because he likes to think about that day and use the anger and pain. It's like that. Bruce is using it as his weapon.
Yeah. Makes total sense.
And I like that. And that helps me with the way Val Kilmer was trying to portray this character. He is okay with his wealth. He has decided, I'm messed up, and that's okay. But this messed up is going, I'm going to focus it on this young child and try and teach him that, because in this now, have you guys talked about the fact, is this built on the first movie? Did he kill the Joker?
Yes.
So this is why he's saying killing the person who killed your parents isn't going to make you feel better, is because he did kill the person that killed his parents.
I think that, it does seem like they are at least having some kind of psychological through line, because again, later on in the movie, again, he also brings out, like, you'll take out the person who did it, but that's not enough. You'll go out into the night looking for another face to get revenge on.
Almost two faces.
But yeah, so like I think that was like that line of like, killing Two-Face won't make your pain go away; it'll only make it worse. That is like, that's the development of Bruce Wayne as a character. Is that like, he killed Jack Napier, and it didn't help him. Like he's only gotten worse since then. Which is it's a good nod. Like it's if you're considering all the light campy stuff that's in the movie, that's a good dark part of the character to have in there.
I think it's important. It's the thing that keeps this movie sort of on the right side of good and bad.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Okay, it's fun and campy and stuff, but you need that to make it a proper film. I think.
Oh, speaking of Michael Keaton Batman movies, that were because I also got like notes on the people who played the Waynes themselves here. Bruce's mom is played by an actress called Eileen Seeley, and she was in the Jack Frost franchise, not the Michael Keaton Jack Frost,
the horror one.
The horror one. She was in both of them.
Yes.
So she was in Jack Frost and Jack Frost 2: Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman.
Did she wear hats? Did she wear a bunch of hats in that?
I'm sure that's like as a part of her contract. Like I said, you got a hat, I'll be there. I'll wear the friggin' snowman hat if you want me to wear.
The one that makes me alive.
The film can be as bad as you want as long as there's a hat on offer. And let me tell you, that second one is bad.
But she was also in Almost Perfect, Sister. She was in a movie called Indictment: The McMartin Trial with the kid who plays Bruce. She's in something called The Baby Doll Murders. Baby Doll been a big Batman villain.
Oh, I just thought of the Soft Cell song.
She's in Murder, She Wrote, of course. Pat Hingle, frequent guest star of Murder, She Wrote in various different roles. She's in Freddy's Nightmares, the Nightmare on Elm Street TV spinoff. She's in episodes of TNG, like Star Trek The Next Generation, as was the guy who played Thomas Wayne.
Who wasn't? I probably was.
Oh yeah, everyone. As long as you got fitted for one of those one pieces, you're in the show because that thing is now your suit. So we have to bring you back every time.
But Brian, she was also in a Down and Out in Beverly Hills TV show, which I didn't. It was a TV spinoff of the movie. I didn't know that
a
was
movie
a thing.
that's not great. But Down and Out in Beverly Hills, starring Nick Nolte.
Yeah.
Now of Star Wars fame.
That's right. Yeah, Ugg Nolte. I will say, like, I actually have, like, one thing I like Down and Out in Beverly Hills for is the fact that it was the first time when I was a kid that I heard Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads. They played, like, the live version from Stop Making Sense. Is like, I think it was released as a spin-off single for that. And it was like, it's over the end credits. And I remember when I was a kid, I'm a massive Talking Heads fan. But when I was, like, 6, hearing that, but like, what's this song? This is really good. And then years down the line, been like, oh, that's that band, and this is all the stuff they do and whatnot. So,
and it all came flooding back.
Yeah, much like I stood in front of my framed pictures of Down and Out in Beverly Hills, and I went into a trance of remembering like the time I watched it when I was 6.
Is your name Bruce?
My butler had to come in and wake me up like, Master Niall.
Oh yeah, I forgot you had a butler.
It's happening again, Alfred. I'm remembering Down and Out in Beverly Hills.
Here's your dry burger, Master Niall.
Dry, just as you like it.
With a couple of onion rings on top for flavor.
That'd be extra dry, wouldn't it? Oh.
I think maybe like the what Dick was actually going to say to Alfred after was just like, hey, hold up, Al. I noticed you didn't put any sauces on the tray. Like, look at how dry this thing is. What do you think? You try to choke me or something?
Instead of French fries, I've given you circus peanuts. I hope that's not too soon.
Oh,
And of course, by circus peanuts, I mean that candy, that horrible, unedible candy, circus peanuts. Have you guys ever had those?
No.
I have.
They're like
actually,
they're
yes.
like marshmallow garbage. Yeah.
I mean, I'll eat anything.
Well, okay.
Well, I would.
Except a
I
burger
don't think I
upside
can eat
down.
them.
You will not eat that trash.
Except for that. No. I mean, I don't think I can eat them now, though, because do they have gelatin in them?
They can't have anything good for you in them. They can't. They
No.
can't.
Well, that's the thing, though. Actually, thinking back now, not to bring us back to the Burger Town, but
Why not? Flavor Town.
it's just more like Alfred's still in, unless because the indication would be that like Alfred did all the cooking, but he's back in the tailcoat and stuff. So Alfred, I can't imagine him running to the kitchen, taking off his little dainty gloves, taking off that coat, maybe undoing the tie, having to flip the burgers himself and stuff. Like maybe Alfred's a guy who likes the theatrical parts. He probably put on the big chef hat and everything too, on the apron and stuff, and then he had to put all the stuff back on to come back running in with this goddamn burger.
I took off my cooking gloves and I put back on my serving gloves.
Oh, yes. You have to have different ones.
I flipped the burgers through the air myself, and then one of them landed on the floor. Reminded me of a certain someone, Master Dick. Too soon?
Now I'm going to go put on my mechanic's gloves and work on this motorcycle. The one that he just gave you, the one I've been working on for 2 years. Thanks a lot, Master Bruce.
Yeah, it could be a thing. It's like, oh, well, perhaps the dogs want a motorbike as well, the Master Bruce. As long as it's not
He's
me,
giving
I suppose.
everything to this boy. This boy gets everything. My motorcycle.
But the other thing, like in the casting department, the people who played Thomas Wayne and young Bruce Wayne, didn't do much. Like a fellow called Michael Scranton, the Electric City, played Thomas. Didn't appear in anything notable except that one episode. He was a Romulan in Star Trek: The Next Generation. And you get some kid called Ramsey Ellis played Bruce. Didn't appear in anything else at all, even vaguely notable. So.
He probably died in a circus accident, I assume. If you act and then don't act, you died in a circus accident. That's just how it works.
That's my default thing. If an actor just sort of disappears for years, but I instantly assume they're dead, and usually at a circus.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing all season. Like every time you see like, oh, they stopped working around like 97. They must have died. It's like it doesn't matter if they're like 22 years old. It's like I guess they're dead.
It must be. It's the only explanation.
Macaulay Culkin, strangely alive. Who knew?
Yeah, resurrected.
Is he though? Because I mean, like if you told me he was a living corpse, I'd be like, well, maybe. But
He is the undead.
Hey,
now.
he's looking cool now.
Yeah.
I think he's back to his best.
He's great. He has a podcast and everything.
He's got a podcast. He's one of us. I enjoy him on Red Letter Media. I want him to be on every episode.
I saw him on a show where there's one of those shows where the guy worked for 8 or 9 months building a package that when it got stolen, it shoots out a tornado of confetti and then fart spray and then also counts down.
Yes.
And he was on that episode because they did like a Home Alone style version of it.
Amazing.
So he's a good sport.
yeah. Only other things I can really talk about in this minute though are again noting it's a motif we first noticed in Batman Returns. I think Joel Schumacher took it and ran. Like he's got the statues at the fireplace that seem to be kind of like an Atlas-esque kind of pose of holding things above their heads. We noticed that was the big statue that was replicated throughout Wayne Enterprises, and it was a thing. It was in Batman Returns in the city center or the Gotham Square. But like I've constantly been in the mind like I guess Batman has the weight of the world on his shoulders, so it's symbolic of that. But yeah, it's just weird that his fireplace seems to be like it almost looks like it's been held up by two people, which is very oppressive, actually.
Yeah.
Particularly as one of them seems to have like they're wearing they're naked but for a towel, and one of them the towel seems to be like falling down as well. So it's like it's a bad situation to be in, and to hold up this giant stone slab. My towel's falling down now. But it's it's adding into the Grecian statues motif as well that Joel Schumacher has been trying to pepper throughout Gotham, and just like I like the idea that again it is slightly oppressive, but then at this point in his career it's like Batman's sort of vow is kind of an oppression. Like he's this is the guy he ain't happy at the minute. Like he's having these constant flashbacks. He feels the weight of responsibility and whatnot. So it's I like that they're there anyway. So
No, I agree.
but yeah, like I do have other notes, but it's general stuff that I can save for other minutes. So like,
Oh, save it. I'm noted out.
yeah, I think Jonathan, do you have anything that you want to bring up about this minute in particular?
No, we just need to do the riddle.
Yes.
I'm good otherwise. John has been waiting all week to find out what the answer is.
Legitimately,
Well, at least what I think the answer is.
I'd love it if it was wrong.
I hope it's not.
I'll give it to you one more time, John. Okay.
Come on, John.
Well, I was going to say John's because both of you guys are there, but
We're both John.
All right, come on,
so,
John. Focus.
riddle me this. You see a boat filled with people. It is not sunk, but when you look again, you don't see a single person on the boat. Why?
Oh.
Huh?
Oh.
He's got it.
Niall.
Yeah.
Cover your ears. Right. Yeah. Are you thinking it's because it says a single person?
Yes.
And there's actually loads of
They're
people.
married. The answer is they're married. No,
That's the answer.
Niall, John knows the answer.
So let's see. What officially what is the guess?
You go with your.
Oh,
It's the same.
John's mad because he doesn't want to say it and be wrong. So it's the answer to your riddle, Niall, is that they're married.
Yes, that is 100% correct.
Yes.
Good stuff.
What do I win?
You get to appear on Batman and Robin next
Oh
season.
no!
Yay.
Wait, this is not good.
And I normally toss the coin to decide if our guest lives or dies. But I think you've earned life.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, maybe we should make that a thing. It's like if you guess the riddle correctly, you were granted a reprieve from the toin cost. I keep saying
Yeah.
toin costs.
What's a toin
this season
cost?
as well. I'm noticing. I don't
Your
know what that
accent's
is.
weird, Niall.
It's an Irish thing. Toin costume. You naughties.
Yeah, it was the second time he read it. He said single person. Like, eh? Also, to be fair, I also listen to a lot of my brother and me, and they have they have a segment now called Riddle Me Piss, and it is terrible riddles. And they're always this way. It's always this dumb wordplay. Like, they're never good.
The worse, the better, I think. It should be bad. It's a riddle. They're crap.
But also, yeah, of course, at this time of the week, we'd always ask the guests about their history with the movie. You kind of did already give us your history, Jonathan. But like, so what is your opinion now, though, of Batman Forever? Like, where does it rest? You still
Rest as probably my second favorite behind the first one, behind Tim Burton. It's the first one.
Man.
Batman 89 is number one for me, and then this one, and then two, and then Batman and Robin is last. I don't count the Nolan.
Okay.
I don't count the Nolan ones because that's a whole new thing.
Oh.
Batman Returns is perfection, but okay, we'll let you off. But would you like to remind everybody once more where they can find you and your wonderful shows?
Yep, we're Minute Impossible, minuteimpossible.com, Min Impossible, MIN Impossible on Twitter. And we have 2 complete seasons done. Go listen to Mission Impossible 1 and Mission Impossible 2. You guys are on. It's hilarious. We do voices. My co-host and I, Chris, talk a lot about the movies and how the movies get made. Plus, just talk about dumb crap that like this show. We go off on a lot of tangents. We talk about food a lot.
I beg your pardon.
How dare you? I say. We talk about dry burgers, whatever you need to do. So come over and find us. We're on season 3 right now of Minute Impossible. You can listen to our trailer breakdown. Depending on when this comes out, our trailer breakdown will be out, and most likely some of the third season will be. So come join us.
Yeah. I do have to ask one request that if me and John are on future seasons, if there are any burgers in future Mr. Buck or Brendan Gleeson's nipples appear again somehow, please make sure you give us those minutes.
Maybe. You might. I'm trying to think if we have a Brendan Gleeson equivalent. Yeah, we do have. We have some good Brits.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's the same kind of
same energy.
Yeah, say you had those guys in silhouette. You couldn't tell the difference between Philip Seymour Hoffman and Brendan Gleeson. I don't think so.
I don't know if that's an insult to Philip Seymour Hoffman or a compliment for Brendan Gleeson.
Although again, Philip Seymour Hoffman died from heroin, so it tied all back into the gearheads.
It's all connected.
It's all about the gear.
It's all connected.
Choose life. Anyway, we will depart. We will head into the dark, dark night once more. Come and speak to us. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those. Buy a t-shirt, TeePublic. Very nice of you. We get a tiny, tiny bit of money, and it's helpful. We can buy beer and coffee that fuels the podcast. We actually aren't using it for that. We're putting it in a big
And
pot.
heroin.
In heroin. We're putting it into our heroin industry. We're transporting it across the globe.
Yeah, we're no longer users. We're now distributors. Woo!
Hell yeah. Onwards and upwards for this show, everybody. So, help contribute to that and join us again on Monday. We will have a new guest and new minutes of Batminute Forever.
Woo.
Next time, memory all alone in the moonlight? Repressed recollections are reached in the Wayne family room as Bruce relives roaming by his parents' tombs. But as religious rites are read to a boy now alone, what riddle resides inside a red rusty tome? I said red. Okay, a rusty red tome. Find out next week. Same Bat Pod, different Bat Minute.
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.